Gamers and individual video game communities are so weird, man. They're so goddamn weird. But I would be lying if I didn't say that they're hella fascinating. Hey, hi, how you doing? This is the Gamertron, and welcome back to the Gamertron Show. Full disclosure, I love the video game For Honor. It was my second favorite game of 2017, and it's easily become one of my favorite games of all time. I love the combat system, I love the premise and setting for the game. I love the immense amount of character customization and all the different playable characters with their unique playstyles. I love the unique experience For Honor offers. So as someone with a positive bias for the game, I'm consistently bewildered by the negative response towards the game, with perspectives and opinions from the For Honor community that seem so alien, just so radically different from my own. Most recently, For Honor has had its first big paid-for expansion, Marching Fire, with it adding a brand new faction, 4 new playable hero characters, the Chinese Wu Lin, the brand new multiplayer game mode Breach, a brand new PvE game mode Arcade Mode, a metric butt-ton of new cosmetics to unlock, and a complete revamp of the gear system. Gear no longer being stat-based, but instead perk-based. And so far, I've been loving Marching Fire and all the new content. Marching Fire took a game I already liked and enjoyed, and just made me like and enjoy it more. So imagine my surprise when I see the For Honor community, especially For Honor YouTubers and content creators, echoing the exact same sentiment. For Honor is apparently in the worst state it's ever been, and that the game desperately needs balance. Balance in terms of all the different characters. Now here is where I wish I could take an objective look, objectively analyze For Honor, but I honestly don't know by what method I could use to determine whether or not For Honor is objectively poorly unbalanced. It also doesn't help that every time I play For Honor, the vast majority of the time I'm having a lot of fun with the game. I'm just not having the same negative experience as so many in the For Honor community. I can't simply write off all the criticism and complaints coming from the For Honor community, since so many are in agreement and repeating the exact same critiques and commentary, at least in terms of the overall general criticism towards the game. So there must be something there, something that can't simply be ignored or written off. Yes, people can be misinformed and misled, but in this case I have not seen or heard any information or context to believe that the For Honor community's current ire for the game is just misguided mob mentality. From my point of view so far, the state of the For Honor community looks to be genuine. I just can't relate. And from where I'm standing, it makes it much more difficult to relate to the criticisms and outcry of the community, while they are in agreement over the overall general issues with For Honor, that being balance, lack of balance, poor balance. When we get into the nitty-gritty details, that's where things get ugly, and that's where the community and any perceived unity within the For Honor community falls apart. It becomes clear that individuals within the For Honor community are not being objective and being purely subjective and opinion-based when it comes to the issue of balance in For Honor. Because I mean almost no one, based on all the research I've done so far, all the YouTube videos I've watched, all the comments and forum posts I've read, almost no one in the For Honor community can come together and agree on how the game should be balanced and which of the characters in For Honor's roster need to be nerfed, buffed, rebalanced, or are already properly balanced and in a good place. From what I've seen, heard, and researched, when it comes to the specifics of how For Honor should be properly balanced, the community can't seem to agree on anything. There's dozens upon dozens of different subgroups appealing to the exact opposite stance. From get good scrub to buff everybody, nerf everybody, remove this mechanic, add a brand new mechanic, appeal to the more casual players, appeal to the more hardcore competitive players. You see, with other video game communities that I've observed, when there's something wrong with a particular game in their franchise, I've seen a consistent unity and agreement on the particular issue and how to change and fix it. Star Wars Battlefront 2, the loot boxes and progression. Halo, the advanced mobility and changes to the sandbox. Oh, and rec packs, of course. Payday 2 and the black market drills. Both Destiny and The Division. Endgame. And there's several more examples, but you get the general idea. When there's an issue in a video game, the community is usually unanimous on the issue and how to fix it. And from my point of view so far, that doesn't seem to be the case with For Honor. While the For Honor community is all crying, balance, we want balance, the game needs balance. When you start asking the individuals of the community how they would make the game more balanced, their opinions and perspectives don't really line up with each other, as every For Honor player seems to have their own opinion as to which characters need to be buffed, nerfed, which are overpowered, which are underpowered. And for me, it's really fascinating how contrasting all the different opinions of all the different individuals in the For Honor community are, and just how much they contrast from my own. For those of you who are curious, and to add further context and provide you all with my perspective on how and why I feel the way I do about For Honor, I guess the best way to describe myself and label myself, even though I hate labels, but for your sake and understanding I will do so, describe myself as a hardcore casual For Honor player. I've been playing For Honor daily, if not weekly, since it launched, but the vast overwhelming majority of my time in For Honor has been spent on PvE and single player, replaying For Honor's story mode, or playing the multiplayer game modes with just bots. And now with the addition of Marching Fire, spending quite a bit of time in arcade mode. Those of you who have been subscribed to my YouTube channel for quite some time, watch my more personal videos, you know I prefer single player and PvE over PvP. And I absolutely love bots in multiplayer games. And also one of the reasons I've been moving further and further away from PvP multiplayer with the exception of a few games, is that for the past quite some while, my internet is not as good as it used to be, which of course negatively affects the multiplayer match for both myself and everyone else playing. So that being said, with the kind of gamer that I am and how I play games, what games I prefer, For Honor has been great for me, it's been great to me, in terms of solo and PvE content. So I can understand looking at For Honor from a different point of view, from the point of view of a competitive PvP multiplayer gamer who's really passionate and invested in competitive multiplayer, that perhaps For Honor is not meeting your wants and needs. And yet despite all the grievances the community has with the game, that they have with the developers, with Ubisoft, and yet despite all their grievances, they still continue to play the game. And that is so fascinating to me. This love-hate relationship the community has with the game and the developers. Now I know this next bit goes without saying, as this is present with every video game community, but not all of the criticism towards For Honor and towards the developers has been civil. During my research, I encountered some really toxic and nasty shit. And that's something the For Honor community actually agrees upon and takes issue with themselves. The community even admits that there are toxic portions of the community that are just being malicious, nasty, detrimental, and undiplomatic. Now I know I've said this before multiple times, I'm a broken record on this matter, but even if it helps just one person, it's worth repeating myself here. People are more important than video games. Video games are not worth treating other people like shit over. If you're insulting someone, being intentionally malicious to someone over a video game, you are in the wrong. Period. There is no justification for it. Now, despite the disagreements and the negativity present in the For Honor community, there is one portion, there is one subgroup that shines brightest, that is a glowing beacon of positivity and fun, and just shows off the best of For Honor and its community. The shit posters, the meme lords. Oh, the memes! The glorious, glorious, dank, spicy memes. Despite the salt, For Honor is full of comedians, ready to have a good laugh and poke fun at the game, themselves, and everyone else. And with such a memorable, diverse cast of characters, with playful and over-the-top emotes, executions, cosmetics, and with just some of the crazy shit that can happen in this game, it has just been an excellent goldmine for content creation, for personal expression. And now lastly, if you don't mind me injecting a bit more of my personal opinion into this, another one of the major factors I love For Honor so much, the one other reason outside of the combat gameplay that keeps me playing For Honor, that's had me invest so many hours into the game and will have me investing so many more, is that quite frankly For Honor is one of the best live service video games as a service, on the market, with constant updates, brand new free content, cosmetics, maps, game modes. I always have a reason to come back to For Honor to unlock something new, to try out something new, and with the latest Marching Fire expansion, there's so much content, so much to sink your teeth into. Hell, I'm still playing with and experimenting and getting used to the 4 new Wulin characters. My experience with For Honor has been a constantly rewarding one. The reward of satisfaction and engagement from the melee combat. I just love For Honor's combat gameplay. gameplay, the reward and satisfaction of constantly leveling up and making progress, unlocking new cosmetics to customize my characters with. But I am very self-aware that while I am having a great time with For Honor, I'm well aware of the community's issues. I just don't share them. They don't affect me. That doesn't mean I'm not willing to hear them out. That doesn't mean I'm going to discard them or act like they don't exist. But you all know the saying, different strokes for different folks, different floats for different boats. Who knows what the future has in store for Honor and its community. For Honor has been a hell of a ride so far, so I'm curious to see where it goes from here. Anyways, that's been a video. I hope you liked the video. If you did indeed like the video in any way, shape, or form, please be sure to hit the like button. Hitting the like button up too helps me, helps everybody involved with the video. If you hit the like button, please leave a comment in the comment section down below. What are your thoughts, feelings, and opinion on the topic of this video? Let me know in the comment section down below. I love reading comments, getting enough comments. Please leave a comment. If you want to help out and support this video, then please share it on social media, Twitter and Facebook. And if you want to help out and support me directly, well, there's always Patreon. Anyways, guys, that's been a video, and I'll see you all later.
Deus Vult, 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 Deus Vult.